Welcome back to my channel, guys. This is Christine, and as you saw on the thumbnail, I have canvas DIYs today. So let's get crafting. So I'll be using an 8x10 canvas from the Dollar Tree, and if you guys have been following me, you would have seen where I purchased this set of retro iron-on transfers from Amazon, and I have been using those quite often. I've used them on canvas before, but I decided to try them on an even larger scale. And this is very easy, guys. You don't even have to think too hard on how you need to do this. And if you don't have the iron-on transfers that I am using, I will leave a link for that in my description box below. But you can find any iron-on transfers and just use that as well. And this is just to show you that you can actually use iron-on transfers on canvas. So as you saw, I took some pink paint, and this is Apple Barrel Pink Cameo, and I'm using a dried chippy brush, and I just dabbed a little on the brush and removed the excess on the napkin, and I'm just giving gentle strokes right across the canvas, and that's just to give it a shade of pink that's on the transfer and to make everything look cohesive. And I took the heat gun and just dried it to make sure that the paint was dried. Next, I took my heat transfer vinyl and I placed that on top of the canvas. I also use a piece of scrap wood under the canvas to act as support when I'm pressing on. I then took a piece of parchment paper, placed that over the vinyl, and use the heat press to press that on. Now I could have used my HTV Runt heat press, but that was too far away, and my mini heat press works just fine. So I just went as many times, just pressing hard enough until I was certain that everything was on. And then there you see me peeling that off, and look at this, so pretty. I love it already. Now to embellish further, I made a pink bow from Pink Gingham, set that aside, and just to go a step further, I wanted the brown on the sunflowers to have like a rustic look, as if they weren't rustic enough. So I took a piece of burlap ribbon and applied some Mod Podge because I wanted it to get a little stiff, and then dried that, and then just traced out little circles that I know would fit on the middle, and then I glued those in. I also made some leaves from the same burlap, but before I glued them on, I took some Mod Podge, went across the canvas to seal it and to protect the surface. Now you can distress the edges if you want to. I chose not to do it with this one, but you can certainly do that if you like distressing. And then here I am just gluing in the little circles in the middle, glue down the leaves, and then glue on the bow. I thought about adding little pops of green on top of the burlap leaves, but then I decided not to do it. And then I glued on the ribbon, tacked down the ends with some hot glue, flipped it over and added a piece of jute for hanging, and this one is done, guys. Let me know what you think about this one. Now for the second one, here is another canvas. This one I believe is 11 by 8 by 11 or something. I don't remember exactly the size, but you know what I mean. And this is going to be just the same as the one before, but I'm using a little blue Waverly Pool paint, and I'm using the same process, just dipping the chippy brush in the paint, wiping it off, and then just stroking it across the canvas. This one doesn't have any frame at the back, so I just rested that on a little wooden shadow box to give me some support. And this one I'm using a little blue truck, and this one is beautiful. I love it, and it says welcome spring. So I press that on, remove the top then just went over it with some Mod Podge to seal it and give it a finished look. And for this one, I took a piece of the same burlap ribbon, cut a small piece. Before I did that, I took the furniture marker and I'm distressing the edges of this one because it was looking too flat and I wanted to give it some definition. So here I took the burlap ribbon, cut a small piece, glued that to the top left corner at an angle. And these blue roses I got from my friend Raisha, I just pulled off 3 pieces, stuck them on there, and then glue a burlap ribbon on top of that. Flipped it over, did the same thing, just made a little jute, glued that down for hanging, and used a little piece of the ribbon to cover that. And this one is done, guys. That's about it. Now for these are canvases that came off those little small Dollar Tree canvas. I already used the frame for something else. So now I want to use a canvas. So here I am remaking a frame using tumbling tower blocks, and I'm just connecting them with some wood glue as well as some hot glue. And once I did that for all these are 10 pieces, 10 tumbling tower blocks I'm joining together. And I made 2 of them. And then here I took the canvases and I'm just using the heat press to press out all the little wrinkles and folds. Now for this, I'm going to use my napkin. And this napkin I got from my friend May, and it has 2 little Tweety birds in a bird's nest. So that's why I'm making 2 of them, because I want to maximize the use of the napkin. So I'm making 2. So I trimmed off the border. I'm not going to cut this out because I want to keep it as is. I like the little shiplap lines that are on there. So I'm going to keep it as is. So here I just removed the ply from behind. Measured it to make sure that it was fitting in the center. Use some hot glue, use some Mod Podge and a piece of sponge to spread that, and place a napkin on that and heat as always to reactivate that. And then I went all the way up. I could have cut off the remainder, but I decided not to because this piece is one entire piece. Then added some more Mod Podge to seal everything in and use the heat on that. Now it's time to get this on top of the frame. Now you can do reverse framing. I'm just gonna use this all the way around. So I made sure it was in the center, and then I used some fix it all glue as well as a hot glue. Just place that on the edge and fold the canvas over, and then use some hot glue to further glue down the ends. Went right around on all the sides, and where the corners met, I kind of just trim that off and fold it in so that it lay down flat. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy you joined me today. Here on my channel, I do DIYs on a budget, dupes, look for less, and some occasional Dollar Tree shopping hauls and thrift flips. If you love budget-friendly DIYs like these and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit that notification bell. Hit it again and select all so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload new videos. And the corners can be a little tricky. You just want to make sure that you are patient and just cut off any excess, tuck in the ends and glue it down, and you should be fine. Now, what are your plans for Easter? We are just a few days away from Resurrection Sunday. And tomorrow being Good Friday, will you be going to church, whether on Friday or Sunday? I know I will. Now I was done with that, I decided to embellish using some little flowers from a flower pick that I had from Dollar Tree. And I just selected 3 little pieces, glued them on. I was trying to see whether or not that leaf garland that I got from Temu would be able to fit there, but it was a little bit too much, so I went with the flowers. But then, of course, to add a little pop of greenery, I just cut off a few pieces of the leaves, not even a few, 2 pieces of the leaves, and just stick them in the corner. And then flip that over, add a little piece of jute for hanging. And then to finish the back, I'm using a piece of this straw hat. I just glue down the pieces to cover where the edge of the canvas was, and also to give it a finished look. And I did that with both canvases, and these are done. So done. Guys, let me know what you think about these. And like I said, you could, and as you see, the birds are facing the same direction, but of course that's okay. Hold up, DJ. At the time of recording this video, 2,670 of you are on this journey with me. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. We are on our way to the 3,000 mark. Help me get there by April 30 in time for a giveaway. So if you love my content and you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? It's free. And I would love if you would consider joining my YouTube family and be in the mix for our giveaway at the end of May. Now let's head into the final reveal. Here is our bloom sign, our little pink lady, and our welcome spring sign, our little blue gentleman, and our 2 little chicky birds. These are the babies. Let me know which one of these canvas DIYs was your favorite today. Be sure to hit that notification bell when you subscribe. And if you love budget-friendly content like this, I suggest this video right here or this playlist. And stay safe, my friends. Until my next one. Bye.